Uh, let me again begin about the prostate cancer. But actually, I'm not here to teach you about prostate cancer, but my main issue is that I want us guys to know, like, as we grow up, as we leave the teenage age, approaching the adult age, we know the risks we're going to face. So, risk factors and prevention of the prostate cancer. Prostrate, it's prostrate is the gland that is in between the urethra and the testes of for the male man. That's the main issue. So I'm not here to teach about, but I'm trying to peruse through how we can go through these risks as we young men and our generation right now. So as I'm recording this video, I want you people to take it seriously, mostly men. Next time I might come up with women, but today I'm talking about men. So let me talk about the risk factors of prevention. Food. You are what you eat. This is the popular statement. It is simply means that if you have the vision for good health, then you look what you eat. 33% cancer according to the US National, something like that. But that's not what you're looking for. Taking red meat, please, red meat. I'm not telling you that you should abandon eating red meat, but today eat red meat, tomorrow you can even eat it on Monday, then the whole week you don't eat it, then next day. But most of you, or most of us who grew up in families, like, we know you have to eat meat every Sunday, and some rich people think that every meal you have to include red meat. So it is dangerous. My brothers should take in on that. Believe me, don't take red meat every day. So give a gap about that. Do not drink milk every day. I remember when we were still in primary, in our schools, they used to tell us that milk, it is very important in our body. I know milk is very important, but in actual sense that we find that milk is mostly important to kids that are 5 and under age. That's when milk is so important to these kids. Now, like me, someone who is above that age, when I drink milk, the most important thing is that I get fats, all that, but others are wasted, so please. And actually, okay, it cleans the skin, it does what? It gives you calcium to make your teeth and bones, strong, all that, but please don't take it, don't drink it every day. I can read you this. Do not drink milk every day, for it doubles your risks. Not taking, and another issue is like that. There is no problem, or there is no risk in taking fruits every day. Mangoes, pineapples, apples, beetroot, avocado. Those are vegetables. As I'm talking fruits and vegetables, we should consume them every day, my brothers, every day, because it takes away the risk of us getting to the prostate cancer. Then we should include them on our meal. Tomatoes, they're so good, garlic, all those stuff, we should have them on our meal regularly. With the consumption of daily, like butter, cheese, we should reduce them, please. And then caffeine. Most of you might not be knowing what I mean by caffeine, but caffeine is mostly found in these energy drinks we take. Like you find this Rock Boom. You might be seeing me from overseas, I know, but Local Boom is a local drink in Uganda. But let me talk about the drink. We have the Red Bull. So these Red Bulls, all what we take, they contain caffeine. So the more you consume caffeine, it also leads to the risk of getting prostate cancer. So take keen on this, my dear brothers, please. So I'll read you also this: not taking too much salt. You should take salt that is minimum, not taking a lot of salt in your soup, and that raw salt is also not good, so it leads us to the prostate cancer. I'm telling you this, I'm not a biological, I'm not a doctor, but I'm trying to give you words that you can take in and listen and understand that when I do this, I don't get this. So high salt is also not good. It leads to prostate cancer. Alcoholism consumption, as men begin have urinary assumption, when you take a lot of alcohol, you urinate. So like all doctors tell us that when you're taking water, you just sip, you relax, you sip, you relax, you sip, you relax. But when you're drinking beer, most people or most men, you can take 7 bottles. You take this one, you sip this one, you sip this one, you sip this one, you sip this one, and you feel like you're not yet there. So all you want is that you want to get stuck, you want to feel like you're so high. So the more you take, and remember, the more you urinate, so it enlarges the prostate gland. So please don't also avoid beers, alcohol, please. So another key that can help us to avoid the prostate cancer: exercising. My dear brothers, wake up, buy your kids, jog in the morning, or if you don't want to jog, you can jump, buy a rope, you can jump, you can do, now we have technology, these smartphones, you can go to the Play Store and then you get your own gym on your phone, then you do exercising, you sweat. So it also helps us build the muscles, tones, and every man should exercise. Although men over 40, listen to this, men over 40 should not do these exercises. They're also dangerous. Those men who are over 40, avoid high impact exercise like jogging for the it put pressure on the knees. Also carrying bad news for the prostate after age of 40. Brisk walking is recommended, like you can move from Namasuba to Zana, you walk. From Chitewi to Ankurokuku, you walk. But when you're smart and putting on your kits. Another thing is oversitting. When this one, I'll read it as it is. Sitting. When we sit, 2/3 of our weight rests on the pelvic bones. Most of you who don't know the pelvic bone, now this one will understand it better. I'll relate it to the women. Pelvic girdles, the hips, pelvic girdles, men, women who have hips, big hips. These are the bones I'm trying to mean, the down bones. So when you sit like this, when you oversit, all your weight goes on these bones, and then when you sit on these bones, men who sit longer are more prone to prostate symptoms. Do not sit for long hours. Walk around as often as you can. When you sit, and then sit and in a comfortable chair. When recommended, divide ads and chair must be long hours. Then also another thing how we can avoid this prostate cancer, my dear brothers, dressing. We should not put on tight trousers, tight boxers, all those. You should feel free. Like when you're going to sleep, have a night, you should not stay in a boxer, have a night, or you can even sleep without anything, because it doesn't matter. That is you and your woman, or you're single, or when you're married. So it doesn't matter. Please take in on this. Dressing is also very important, and it is when you try to dress up in a tight clothes, there is a high chance of getting prostate cancer. When you avoid it, so it will let you not have that prostate cancer. So also smoking. Avoid smoking, my dear brothers. Avoid smoking. It affects the blood vessels and it impacts circulation around the groin. Then you should avoid smoking. It also leads to prostate cancer. So I also give you this issue, my dear brothers. Even I relate this one to all religions. Muslim, me, I'm a Muslim. Christianity, born again Christians, Protestants, Orthodox, to mention but a few. All these books tell us to get married. So when you have your wife, this is the issue I'm driving you at. Yeah, sex. Regular sex is good for the prostrate. Celebrate. It says celibates are more prone to prostate illness, while celibacy is a moral decision. It is not biological adoption. Your prostate gland is designed to empty its content regularly. So, my dear brothers, I'm not telling you to buy prostitutes, but you should marry. You know, there is nothing that religion, God told us to do when it is something bad, like having a wife. So you see, even this sex you do, it is, you know, it helps you to avoid some diseases. So please, also having regular sex avoids prostate gland. So mineral zinc. So which foods can we eat and then have the mineral zinc? We should take the watermelon. Most of those black seeds, they're so good to our body. They contain zinc. We should take it. I'll read you this. Zinc is about the most essential element for the male sexuality and fertility. This means men require more zinc than women. I'll read it again, my dear brothers. Zinc is about most essential element for sexuality and fertility. This means that men require more zinc than women. Every time a man ejaculates, he loses 15 mg of zinc. Zinc is also important for alcohol. Those people who metabolism, those people who take a lot of alcohol, because you take a lot of alcohol, your liver needs zinc to metabolize the alcoholism. Zinc that comes from food is easier to absorb that zinc supplement. So it is important to eat the food that riches in zinc. Otherwise, risk factors for the prostate cancer. Also, age is a major risk factor for the most cancer. Men at the age of 45 are higher risk in developing prostate cancer. Then family history is considered also risk. Family for most cancers are believed to have more lifestyle disease, like when you have inherited it from your father, something of the kind, or your grandpapa, something of the kind. So please, when you have a pain, you note down all this what I'm trying to tell you. Some food that can protect the prostate. A diet that's rich in fruits, like I said earlier, vegetables, healthy fats, all that. Salmons, I don't know whether you know salmons. Salmons is rich in healthy fat, contains omega-3 fatty acids, helps prevent and reduce inflammation with the body. So this is what I also said earlier in my first video. Raw tomatoes are packed with lycopene, a most potent natural oxidant that may benefit the prostate gland cells. So please, you take raw tomatoes, the so-called kachumbari, berries, strawberries, they also protect that issue. Broccolis, I'm not so certain about these blockholes, but nuts also rich in zinc. Please, I tell you to take this, to take them. In our next video, we shall be talking about stages of cancer. So please subscribe. There is my channel. We shall be learning more. For now, have a blessed night. I'm signing out. Thank you so much. Please subscribe.